where we are on time, okay? Yes, let's take a question.
Okay, we all appreciate very much you coming out and filming. This filming is so important. I'm sure our lawyers would be thrilled to have a copy and even more film. And I know it's going to cost your organization money, but I presume that your organization would allow it to be done. And the lawyers would probably compensate you, speaking for them, you know, because this is incredible to show to the public and show in court. It has to go that way.
Yeah, so this is a 2-minute clip that I put together. We have about 30 minutes of film. So in terms of getting the lawyers what they need, I think we captured that, but I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the costs have been covered. Now we just have the footage, so we can do whatever we want with it. All right, question over here.
You know, I don't know if you can answer this. I don't know if you can. But I'm wondering why I haven't heard about the project that was started about 2 years ago by SoCal Gas to increase capacity and distribution for that facility. They're spending $200 million, or they spent $200 million on 3 new compressors, which greatly increases the pressure in the storage facility and makes it that much more dangerous. And like, why we're not talking about the wells in the neighborhoods, under people's houses that are not sealed, and when that kind of pressure increases, you can have someone's house blow up. And I don't know why we're not talking about Rest for Less blowing up in 1984 because of a similar problem.
Yeah.
And like, I think people need to get, like, I know we're all very unhappy with what's going on, but another issue, I used to work for a DC firm in their energy department for customers of El Paso Gas, lessers of a storage field. Generally speaking, the majority of the storage facility is not used for customers, for ratepayers. Usually it's third-party lessers of the facility that do nothing but pad SoCal Gas's bottom line. It has little to do with improving service to customers, their investment over the last several years. It increases danger, and the only thing it improves is their profits.
Right.
Sorry, that wasn't really a question.
No, I can address it still. You're passionate. So this isn't the first Save Porter Ranch Moon Water Watch meeting we've had. We've had a lot, and we have covered all of those issues at past meetings because our goal is educating the public on what is actually happening up there. And you're right, they are increasing storage capacity, and they build it to you as they're installing these new turbines to clean up the air because the old ones were really dirty. What they forget to mention is it massively increases their capacity, which puts these old wells at higher risk of failure. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes.
I was just wondering if we've done anything to map the pollution plume and where it's typically at?
So we did a public records request from the South Coast Air Quality Management District. And so we did all the call logs that they've been getting, and we did another one for this month as well. What we want to do is map that out in a Google Maps, and so we can see where are people calling from, where are the majority of people calling from, to get a sense. But in terms of mapping the plume and where it goes, no, we haven't had the capacity to do that, but I think looking at where people are calling from is an important next step. So we're trying to put some staff time into generating a map like that, but we've also asked SoCal, South Coast AQMD to do the same thing too. Sorry, there was a question. Were you the one that raised your hand? Okay, great.
A few questions. First, how extensive is this 3,500-acre facility? I mean, if you take a mile wide, it's going to be 5.5 miles long. If you take 2.5 miles by 2.5 miles, that's what we talked about. Is it under my house? Is it under anybody's house? Where is it located? Do we know exactly where it's located? Do you have a map of it?
So it's 3,600 acres above ground, but we don't know where the formation is underground, and I think that's a really important thing to ask for. I've been getting that question a lot. We just really don't know. It's never been mapped before. So that is something that we should be asking for, is really to see where the reserves are.
SoCal Gas knows exactly where it is.
But in terms of where the leak is, like this video does show pretty much exactly where the leak is.
It's a forest continuous underground reservoir.
Yeah.
It moves, it migrates. And number two, can we do satellite imaging on this thing instead of just one camera?
Yeah. Well, didn't we
repositioned their, at the town meeting, they mentioned the NASA repositioned.
China.
Yeah, it's so it sees,
This
well,
is
it
like
sees methane specifically.
20 million customer industry, so
Yeah.
it's not a small thing. And number three, let's say gas companies liable. How about the developers that they sold us the house? And number three, we as customers, buyers, are liable because we were not sure if we were supposed to know about this.
So SoCal Gas, you all are LADWP customers, right?
Yeah.
So LADWP and the City of Los Angeles makes a franchise agreement or a contract with SoCal Gas for gas procurement. So that means it's either coming to your house on your stove or your water heater, that kind of thing, or it's going to the natural gas electric generating station, which is out in Sun Valley, you know, the smokestacks. That's a natural gas plant, so they burn natural gas to generate electricity. 20% of that in Los Angeles comes from natural gas at this facility. It's very important to recognize that as a DWP customer, as a citizen of Los Angeles, SoCal Gas is trying to get another 20-year contract with the city. So they had one from 92 to 2012. It's been extended on a year-to-year basis. I think we should force the city to reject that long-term contract. We shouldn't be giving SoCal Gas a big 20-year contract. Are you kidding me? It should be year-to-year until we can phase this facility out. And then still year-to-year because they will continue to supply natural gas to the area. But that's a very important decision coming up before the City Council, and Food and Water Watch and Save Puerto Ranch will make sure you know when to weigh in on that important discussion.
Do we want to say something about donations?
Sure, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. Question back there?
My question is just like general.
Can you speak up?
My question is more general. Because shutting down the gas station or the gas company itself, because they are infrastructure, or I'm assuming not just LADWP, but also other utilities. Because a lot of the generators no longer produced by coal, actually gas-driven generators. So most of our supplemental power for a lot of cheaper are basically gas generating facilities. So in essence, Southern California is one of the major key players in that infrastructure. If we shut them down, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with shutting them down. I'm all for it because I live right next to it, but at the same time we also have to look at what the politicians are going to be saying. Is that even feasible in their books? Because that's part of their infrastructure. So by saying we want to shut them down, is that really a realistic goal? I know that strategically, yeah, we want to do that, but is that a realistic goal? Is that something that have we discussed with politicians? Have we discussed with our liaisons that work with the Senate? Can that infrastructure be removed out of local?
I gotcha. Okay, so that's what Food and Water Watch again brings to the table is the policy analysis, the know-how, the research on how do we actually do it. It's a very good question. We definitely have the technology, right? I want to make that very clear.
What technology?
We have the technology for clean, renewable energy. SoCal Gas is also a leader at R&D, research and development, for other technologies too. So we don't have to say, shut them down, burn them to the ground, but we do say you have a responsibility to be a part of the solution. More importantly though, SoCal Gas has 3 other storage fields in their makeup, right? They have 3 other gas storage fields that they can rely on if they shut this one down. It's like I said, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be a long-term process, but what we can do is SoCal Gas, again, wants us to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to upgrade this facility, so to fix all the wells, to fix it, right? Even though this gas leak was inspected last year and cleared the exam, it still broke. So that's not a good solution to continue wasting hundreds of millions of dollars in an infrastructure that is going to break eventually and continues to make us reliable and vulnerable to this type of gas and this type of fossil fuel. We need to be taking that money and investing it in the renewables, in the solution. And so that's kind of the really brief policy angle that we're going to be looking at, is looking at that dollar value, because that comes out of your pocket. We have an opportunity to redirect those funds, and as being customers of DWP, DWP is the largest public utility in the country, public being the big word there. So you actually do have a voice. Unlike SoCalGas, they're a for-profit private company. We have a route, we have a channel through DWP. That's why Food and Water Watch earlier, what was it, 2 months ago, right before the gas leak happened, we just launched our campaign, our new campaign, to call on Mayor Eric Garcetti, come up with a plan, direct DWP to make a plan for 100% clean energy. State law is already saying we have to go 50% by 2030. We're hitting 33% by 2020. So you can see it's not going like this, it's going like this, right? So we need to be advocating for that transition because it's upon us, but it's moving slowly because we have entrenched fossil fuel interests. These are the richest, this is the most powerful industry in the world, right? That's why they're continuing to burn and destroy our climate and people's lives. We have to advocate for the transition. We can do it, and that's kind of what I want to bring to the table.
But you still haven't answered my question in terms of a more realistic.
What's the question?
No, because I'm not trying to, I understand the intent, and I'm more for it. I just want to make sure that the goals that we're saying for the lawyers to try to achieve are more realistic and more closer to like mile versus.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm saying,
When you say 100%, renewable energy, let's be realistic.
there are other cities doing it in this country and across the world. So it's not unrealistic. And so what I'm saying is that the legal strategy needs to combine with the organizing strategy. So the legal strategy and the organizing strategy need to work together. And that's what we can do. And so I don't have the specifics on how exactly we're going to do it, but I know the advocacy work that we can do and the research we can put together on it.
I'd just like to add that Rex is the mayor of Lancaster, which hopes to be the first net zero city in the world. So he's been internationally recognized for his work, politically as well as legally, on this very topic. So while it seems unrealistic, he's been putting every part of his life professionally to make sure that happens.
Okay, and then I'm going to take your question, and then we're going to move on to the air monitoring. I know you guys, this is tough, but we're going to get to it. Are you sure? Okay. All right, I'll take your question. And then I'll keep you two in mind that you have your hands raised. I'll get you on the next round, okay?
I did actually, I didn't hear anything about this at the meeting when we had with the Neighborhood Council. What is exactly the police department, the fire department doing as far as safety? God forbid we have a crazy incident like San Bernardino. All they have to do, from what I see, drop a firecracker. Is this thing combustible? I mean, are we all going to blow up if somebody drops the dynamite? Like, how do we have to worry about this? And one of my biggest requests from one of the police officers was, there is an Amber Alert for stolen kids. Can we get an Amber Alert so we can all stay away from the area if there's the smallest incident? The police response was, we will give you door-to-door notification. We'll be all blown up. Normally, when we have a brush fire in this area, it's perfectly fine. We have the police come by. We have at least a 3-hour evacuation time during a brush fire, but we're not going to have that time now.
Right, okay, so quickly, all I know is that the police department has been increasing their patrols in the area. They're trying to get the addresses of people who are relocating from SoCalGas so they can do more patrols. The LA County Department of Fire and the LA City Department of Fire are coordinating. They're super worried about ignition. It's their I don't know, they were so downplaying it at the community meeting, they downplayed that. But obviously they're very worried about it, right? So in terms of what they're doing, they're monitoring it. They're on the site every single day. I don't know what that means, but that's all I know. Sorry, I'm actually just going to move on because I know we have a couple more Q&A sessions. We're going to hear from Jessica. Where's Jessica? All right, so next on the agenda. Thank you all.